My brother spent 3 years turning our dad against me, and it almost worked. After Mom passed, Dad got sick. That's when Marcus showed up. Suddenly, he was the devoted son, cooking meals, driving Dad to appointments, playing the role of his life. But every time I called, Dad seemed distant, cold, like he was reading from a script someone else wrote. I didn't understand it at first. I thought maybe grief was changing him. Maybe losing Mom had pulled them closer and pushed me out naturally. I wanted to believe that. It hurt less than the truth. But then a family friend told me what was really happening. Marcus had been telling Dad I was too busy for him, that I never called, that I had moved on and started my own life and didn't care anymore. He said it so many times, so convincingly, that Dad started to believe it. By the time I found out, the damage was done. Dad stopped answering my calls. 4 months went by without a single real conversation, and then one morning I got the call that he was gone. I didn't even get to say goodbye. 3 weeks later, I'm sitting in a lawyer's office, dark wood walls, cold air conditioning, Marcus sitting across from me with his arms crossed and this look on his face like he had already won. Like this was just a formality. The lawyer read through the will, the house, the savings, the property in Virginia Dad had held onto for 30 years. All of it going to Marcus. Every single line. I sat there and felt something in my chest just collapse. And then Marcus looked at me and said, "Look, Dad made his choice. I hate that it's like this. I really do." But he said it with a smile he couldn't quite hide. And I looked at him and said, "You isolated him, Marcus. You did this on purpose." And he leaned back in his chair and said, "Prove it." And then the lawyer cleared his throat. He said, "There is one more matter. A secondary clause, added 6 weeks before your father's passing." Marcus stopped smiling. The lawyer read it out loud. He said, "Should any beneficiary be found to have deliberately limited contact between the deceased and any immediate family member, full inheritance transfers to the excluded party, effective immediately upon verification." The room went completely silent. Marcus said, "He wouldn't. You can't." And his voice just fell apart mid-sentence. The lawyer looked up and said, "Your father left a recorded statement as supporting evidence. He prepared it himself with a separate attorney. Shall I play it?" Nobody said anything, so he pressed play. And then I heard my dad's voice fill that room. Tired, slow, but clear as anything. He said, "I knew what you were doing, son. I just didn't want to believe it for a long time. I kept making excuses because you were my child and I loved you. But I was wrong to let it go on as long as I did. And to my daughter, I need you to know I never stopped loving you. Not for a single day. Not once. I am so sorry I let someone come between us. I should have fought harder. This is my way of fighting now, even though I can't be there anymore." The recording stopped. I couldn't breathe. Marcus stood up and started saying something about contesting it and calling his own lawyer, and the whole thing was a setup. But I couldn't really hear him anymore. I was somewhere else completely. I walked outside and sat on a bench in the parking lot. The sun was warm, and I held this old photo I carry in my wallet. Me and my dad at a baseball game when I was maybe 9 years old, both of us laughing at something, neither of us knowing what was coming. I didn't feel like I won. I want to be clear about that. I would have given all of it back, every single dollar, every piece of property, just to have had those 4 months with him, just to have said goodbye properly, just to have heard his voice one more time while he was still here. But he saw through it. Even when I thought he had forgotten me, he hadn't. He was paying attention the whole time. And in the end, the very last thing he did was find a way to reach back through everything that had been built between us and remind me that I was never actually alone. If someone in your life is trying to cut you out, isolate you, rewrite your story inside your own family, do not give up. Keep showing up. Keep telling the truth. Because the people who truly love you are watching closer than you think. And sometimes the last word belongs to them.